of all, I plead innocent of all charges.
Talk about the good times with Talking Elvis.
Hello, welcome to episode 17. Still going strong, whether you like it or not, folks. This is Talking Elvis. I'm Vince Wright, and
I'm Ian Gray. Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, or whatever time it is you're listening.
we cater for the world. It's world
We do.
domination.
We're all world clock here.
We are. We're like one of these James Bond supervillains. We don't care where it is. We're taking over.
Yeah.
Right. Another show.
Yes.
Anything to report? Any news and views?
From stateside in Memphis, Tennessee, Graceland is reopening to visitors Thursday, May the 21st. So if you're listening to this after Thursday, May the 21st, you may have already gone to Graceland. So let us know how that went. And they're doing all the different social distancing and measures that they need to make sure everybody's going in throughout safely. But this is probably going to be a good thing, because if you don't like big crowds, they're reducing the mansion tours to only 25% capacity. So it's only a quarter of the usual capacity that they're doing for the actual tours of Graceland Mansion itself, which is good, because then you get a bit more time to walk around and a bit more time looking at the jungle room and the dining room and all that sort of stuff. And so, May the 21st. So that's either Thursday coming or Thursday just gone, depending on when you're listening to this. So well done to Graceland. They're getting on with it.
Well, have you done that just to rub it in? Because you knew my flight to Memphis on June the 14th has been cancelled. Yes, my whole holiday there. And you've just brought it in. Yes.
Oh dear me, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Do you need to have a moment? I am sorry about that.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that's it. So my whole 2020 Memphis experience has been dipped in the bud. So I'm not too disappointed. I shall go next year.
Yeah, but how many places would you have gone to because you were going to Nashville as well? How many places in Nashville and Memphis where you've gone to where you wouldn't have been allowed to do this, you wouldn't have been allowed to do that, you couldn't go and have a few pints in a bar, you couldn't stick around listening to the music in a small bar and get the atmosphere and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah,
it would have been a certain air of caution in the air, wouldn't there?
I think so. I think
it would have been It would have been a nervous visit, and considering you hadn't been there for a few years, that would have been a real shame to sort of come back afterwards and go, well, we had a nice time,
but
yeah. So
yes, I think you're right there.
I think you've got to take the positive from that, haven't you?
So yes, so I can go and blow my money on something else. That's the answer. Yeah. If I ever get it back from the airline.
Yeah, I'd like some wages this week, so maybe you can blow it there.
Yeah, that's it. We can put food on the table. So you gave a bit of news that was to cheer me up, which didn't. Thank you very much. I'm going to give you some news, and my news for you is positive.
Ooh, come on.
The Blu-ray King Creole that's doing the rounds is Region 0. So it'll play on anything.
Splendid.
Now get your pennies out. Yes.
Oh yes. You have cheered me up now. I was a bit concerned about that, because I always get confused with the regions.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if I buy it, can I play it? All this sort of stuff. So, yes. So I'm going to have a look at that.
Yeah, I was about 30 quid in it, 35 quid on most
places. It'll be well worth it.
I think it will, with the book and this, that, and the other.
Yes.
Other news I've got at the moment, we've had another death in the Elvis world.
Where did I miss that one? This one?
Loanne Parker.
Oh, of course, yes, the Colonel's wife, yes.
The Colonel's wife. I mean, they didn't get married till post Elvis, but she knew Elvis because she worked in Vegas and all that. So I'm not going to say so much on that. I don't think there's anything special there. Although in my if I can dream kind of view, when they sort of estate out, are they going to just find a few reels of this, that, and the other behind the wardrobe?
Yes, that could be interesting, couldn't it? Oh,
I know he sold everything to RCA, but Colonel's version of everything is probably different too.
Personal. Maybe they'll donate personal items to Graceland or to various museums or whatever. Wouldn't that be great? There's got to be something, isn't there?
I reckon Henrik's round there with a big van anyway. Right?
He's going through the skip as we speak, isn't he? So yeah, if not new recordings or new footage or whatever, but certainly documents, pictures. Who knows? Oh yes, I never thought
Yeah,
that.
so that's it. So it's a shame, but that's it. Other news: I've had me Kid Galahad follow that dream.
How's that working for you?
Double disc, not a triple disc like the others. 30 odd takes of King of the Whole Wide World was the highlight of my day yesterday. It is seeing the build up of it. It's not one you're going to play in the car going to work, but it's nice to see. The book's good. The most interesting fact that I liked in it, and I'd never heard this before, that in the Kid Galahad trailer, there's a bit of film that's not in the film.
Oh, okay.
I'd never noticed, but when Joan Blackman kisses Elvis, it's not in the movie. That little bit when she gives him a little peck on the cheek.
Oh wow, okay. Well,
there must be long shots and close-ups.
Yeah.
That was quite interesting, but there's nothing extra on here that's gonna blow you away. At the same time, the other Follow That Dream came out. There was a couple of 76 soundboard concerts, and I'm not going to lose sleep over those. But what I'm a bit appalled by is there was a typo on the sleeve. Burning Love. It was called Burring Love.
No,
this isn't a little tin pot bootleg company.
Maybe did somebody do it on their phone so it was like predictive text or something?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I'm just assumed they wanted to get it out, and there's a bit of luck there.
That's a shame.
Somebody emailed the sleeve to somebody who was trying to babysit next door's kids or something, and yeah,
that's a shame. Isn't it?
It's just a bit of a shame, but I haven't bought that one because
maybe you can buy that one, then buy the one they come out when they've corrected the text on it, so you'll have two versions of it then. So for a completist like yourself,
yeah.
You have to have everything, and you've got to have the spelling mistakes. A bit like my upside down and empty 60s sessions. I've got that. That's going to be worth a fortune at some point. You know what I mean?
That's going to be worth 10, 15 quid one day.
And I've got one more item of news, and it's not so much news, but it is an item of congratulations to our friend Justin Grousman of the TCB cast, who got married last week. So well done.
Hey!
So congratulations to you and the bride, and many happy years to follow, I'm sure. Good luck.
All right, that's another excuse for me to have a drink tonight. I didn't need one, but I'm going to.
I'm Justin Gosman.
And I'm Gertie Bladar from the TCB cast.
And you're listening to the Talking Elvis podcast. It's a hot time in Florida.
Rainy night in Georgia.
What's up next, boy?
Well, we better get down to the real nitty-gritty.
Got a question? Email Vince at talkingelvis.co.uk.
It looks like a number 5, a top 5, is our thing now, isn't it?
Another top 5.
Another top 5. So this is a clever one, because we said we wanted to do the top 5 Elvis films, but everybody always chooses something from the first 4 or the last 2, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. So,
I want to do Jailhouse Rock and King Creole when that's the way it is thrown in as well.
Yeah, that's right. So we've changed the rules. It is the best 60s film.
So we're going to select 5 from 26.
Oh, have you got your definitive list written down?
I have. I thought it'd be fairly easy, but I did ponder, shall we say, for quite a while before deciding on the 5 that we're going to go in.
What was your criteria?
They're going to be favourite films.
Favourite for you, just purely personal.
Yeah. Favourite for me, with 1 or 2 facts in, and why, and possibly why they were a favourite. I don't think there's too much sort of artistic sort of license to go in many of Elvis's 60s movies, although they were all sort of fun movies, put a smile on your face, listen to the music, that all good. Not necessarily going to win any Oscars or anything like that, but full of fun and worth an hour and a half of your time.
That's it. So we've looked at the top co-stars, animal, mineral, and vegetable. So we went through those, and that's kind of livened up the 60s movies to me a little bit. I've started to think, he was good in that film, or he was good in that one. But I'm a bit of an anorak.
You've got, come on, what you got?
Right, I had to create this. I made my list up off the top of my head, and I didn't like it. I went down, so I had to go in scientifically.
Okay. Oh dear.
Right. So I have
Have you gone for critically acclaimed type of thing?
No. I have chosen 4 criteria and
Uh-huh.
issued points 1 to 5 for each movie, and then I didn't tot them up till the end to see what my gut feeling was.
So you've gone for a purely scientific basis then,
Right now, I have said
as to the order of your films. I mean,
it is completely down to the numbers. The numbers don't lie, right? So if I said
you got too much time on your hands.
it's working from home. You do 5 minutes work, 2 hours research, 5 minutes work. It's my gaffer's going to have me. It's a good job I'm self-employed. But it's wonderful because things have come up that I didn't think would.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So I've got to tell you my 4 criteria, right?
All right, go on.
I've gone, so it's 1 to 5. 1 is the least, 5 is the most.
Okay.
So I've gone, well, how do I rate the songs overall? Gut feeling. Section 2, how memorable was the film? Because some of them you're going, what happened in that? I haven't seen it for years. And others you can basically quote like mad. Then, how good do I think the supporting cast were generally? Whether it was Mr. Ed or not, we don't know. What did we think of them? And did Elvis have any classic lines?
Okay.
So that is my 1 to 5. So I did them all without touching them up in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Gut feeling straight through. Totaled them all up and went, oh, wow, who knew? Right. So it's thrown me the answers, but science doesn't lie.
Well, okay, if you're going scientific,
Yeah. But you know what? But I bet you we still come up with a lot of the same.
Well, I thought I was going to know yours, but then you started going down this scientific line, and to be honest with you, I'm not so sure now.
So what about yours? Am I going to get yours?
No.
So have you just been an arse and just chose things to throw me off the scent?
There is an element of that.
Fantastic. That's the rules I like.
I mean, to be fair, they are my favourite films, but 2 or 3 have had to go. You probably had the same thing as well. So like 2 or 3, you're thinking, well, actually, I quite like that as well, but I can't fit it into 5. And I narrowed it down to 6, and I was like nearly an hour narrowing which one to leave out of the top 5. It was so. So I think you may be surprised. Who knows?
I think top 2 you'll get of mine easily.
Mm-hmm.
I think 5 and 4 will throw you. Shall we start?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. I need a big game show theme here. And okay, first contestant is Ian. What's your number 5?
Elvis's 6th movie, 1960s, Flaming Star.
Ooh, right.
Yeah, I've gone for a bit of drama here.
Right. Now that's good. So he's not in my list at all.
Okay, well, I like a dramatic film, film noir. These 1940s and 50s sort of black and whites and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, much the same as yourself as well. But this was one of Elvis's few movies where he displayed his acting talents, and there was only one song during the movie. There was obviously the Flaming Star over the opening credits, but only one song during the movie, which I quite like on this occasion. I don't mind 10 songs in a movie, to be honest with you, but this was quite nice. It was only had one. Probably didn't need it, to be fair.
Well, they took out Britches, didn't they, as well? So
yeah,
they were obviously on the fence of how much it needed to be a musical.
Yeah, because then I think they weighed up the storyline against Fluffy Bunny type of GI Bluesy type of thing, didn't they? The storyline was a fairly sort of dramatic, political type of movie, wasn't it?
Well, I think it slots in as the Saturday night western without thinking about Elvis, doesn't it?
I think so.
It's just a good western, in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, so I've gone for a bit of drama, so I quite like that. What else? There was a sneak preview, right, in a place called Inglewood in California, where they actually showed the movie with the other 2 songs in it, Britches and Summer Kisses, Winter Tears. So I just wonder if there's got to be footage out there of those, have there?
Do we believe that?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just, one of my research told me that they showed a preview with just the two songs, the opening one and Kane the High Starts car, and they also showed this one with the other two songs in it. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, no, mate. And I love these things. Like,
But it was very specific about the location of that sneak preview.
You know, these are funny, aren't they? Where you can sometimes see exactly where it would fit. That song was cut there, and that song was cut there. But you know, isn't it shameful that if it didn't exist, and then it was binned?
God, yeah.
Oh, but is there another salt mine in Kansas that's got all these in, and you know, you go, oh look, you know, stepping out of line, oh, look what I found.
Yeah. That's where I'm going for my next holiday, Kansas, so I can go down those blooming mines.
Oh yeah, I think it's good
when I'm allowed to, of course.
Oh, yes. Social distancing in the mine, that is good. Now I'm going to say, because I did my scientific bit here,
right,
that Flaming Star did not rate as my lowest film.
Okay.
But it rated as the second lowest. And I've agreed with everything you said. And it's just because I didn't rate the songs much, I gave it such a low score on that.
Right, yeah.
Then that's nobbled me on the others. So that's quite interesting, because I've put him down as it's not the most memorable film. The supporting cast were adequate, and that's it. So I like that. I like that Flaming Star. You've thought outside the
and I quite like the fact that the director Don Siegel also invented Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which is always a good one, and also Dirty Harry in 1971. So you know, Dirty Harry. You've got to put a bit of meat on the bones there, you know.
I'm gonna have to say something because you've just brought it up. Dirty Harry. Should that have been Elvis in 1971?
Oh, well, they're about the same age. Then it's like late 30s,
I think that one really works. I used to read a comic. I used to have Valiant. Valiant was a kid Valiant, and there was a cop in it. One-Eyed Jack was a storyline, and I absolutely loved it. And I always felt that it was like Dirty Harry with a patch. With an eye patch, and I always wanted Elvis to play that. And I think in a sort of change of habit and on a bit, he really could have been, you know, a couple of years on from that. We should have had Elvis in Dirty Harry. Glad you brought that up.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a good shout. But everybody loves Clint as Harry Callahan. So But it's conceivable that if not Dirty Harry, then something as equally as gritty and meaty, as a character.
Yeah,
during that time in his life, because he looked the part, he bulked up a slight bit, hadn't he? And he looked like he looked cool.
I just think with all his police badges and all that, he would have he'd have had the swagger, and he loved his guns. So, you know, to tell you the truth, I kind of lost count myself or whatever. Now this being a Colt 44, probably the most powerful handgun in the world. Yeah.
Are you feeling lucky?
Are you feeling? Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
we got Agent King to come on Netflix this year, so that'll fill that gap.
Excellent. So I like that. I like that you've put Flaming Star in there. Yeah. So my number 5 is close to that in that it's a Western, but it's completely the other end of the scale. It's almost Carry On Cowboy. It's Stay Away Joe. Right?
Oh, brilliant. You know what? This movie, I like this movie a lot.
This movie is one of those. It's that late 60s, bit more adult. You can have a bit of nookie. You can swear a bit. You can wake up on the floor drinking beer. You can you can get looked at funny from some kid's mother, and all of that's in it. And I loved it because Dominic is shocking, but it's great. It's the guilty pleasure thing there, isn't it? All I needed was the rain. Great blues. So fantastic. I gave this top notch on on the songs. I think it was well up there. Memorable, I have to say, I have a great memory of watching this movie at Hemsby, the holiday camp, where one of the Elvis ones, where at the end of the night they used to put a movie on.
Yes, indeed they did. Yeah,
and you'd get back from the disco, from the event, and I remember remember we were pickled and we'd got oven chips by the ton and we sat and we just laughed for an hour and a half. It's
It is one of those,
memorable. I
isn't
have
it?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
having Burgess Meredith in there sitting there, the old bloke under his rug. I just love it, and that the whole slapstick of wallpapering nothing to make the toilet look nice. I absolutely love that film.
It really is a carry-on Elvis, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what should we do? It's like they almost ran out of ideas. It's like they were writing the script as they went along, day by day, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
what should we do now? I don't know. Let's have a fight.
Yeah.
And let's not just have one person fighting another. Let's have a whole room full of people fighting each other, and it was just tremendous fun.
I think it is so good that I think the supporting casts are there.
Yeah.
And it just sitting here now, I've got a stupid grin on my face.
And Elvis had a grin on his face throughout most of the movie, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because that was really, he looked like he was enjoying himself.
Well, he's there. He's playing. He's got the classics again. He hasn't got a swimming pool to have women around. He's got women everywhere. He's got motorbikes. He's got the lads having a punch up. It's just great.
It's superb.
Underrated again.
That's a great choice. I like that.
So we've both got number 5. We like the Saturday Western.
Absolutely. Yeah. We like a bit of a laugh as well. So there we go.
Excellent. Number 4.
Right, number 21 in the Elvis movie catalogue, 1966, and Paradise Hawaiian Style.
Ooh.
This is one of the first movies I saw on the big screen when they were showing them in the local cinema after Elvis had died. When we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we did the top 5 animals, and I mentioned that scene in the helicopter with all the dogs.
Oh, Dog's Life, yes.
Which as a sort of 8 or 9-year-old, I found hilarious, and remember just absolutely wetting myself laughing with that scene. And seeing Hawaii for the first time as well was an eye opener as well, because as a young lad I'd heard of it once or twice, but no more than that. Didn't know anything much about it, and I thought it was wonderful. It's a very sort of average movie. Elvis didn't look in his best in it, but I enjoyed it a lot. I like the song.
So it's an average Elvis movie, but it gets above average status.
Yeah.
So it's the personal memories side of it that's
100%.
nudged it in. Yeah. Isn't it? That's great, because you can't you could. These are these guilty pleasures where you might not buy a DVD of a film, but when Channel 4 are showing it, you go, I've got to watch this again. And even if you've missed 20 minutes, you go, I'm here for the night now.
Absolutely. It's one of those daft films, and it's like being a helicopter pilot was a new thing for Elvis in the movie, so that's pretty cool as well. I thought, anyway. I know it's all done in the studio, but I wasn't to know that at 9 years old.
Well, I say you'd spent the summer holiday watching the whirlybirds. Then you loved your helicopters, didn't you?
Absolutely. So yeah, that was. I really, really enjoyed that, and it was nice and colourful as well, wasn't it? With all the girls and sort of stuff. So yeah, excellent.
Hi, guys. This is Jamie Kay from the Jungle Room podcast, and you're listening to Vince Wright and Ian Gray on the Talking Elvis podcast.
For me, on that one, the memorable stuff, the drums of the island, because it was so different to the album, wasn't it?
Yeah, big number.
And it was one of those, and you're there going, and I remember going to Epcot at Disney, and you went to the Hawaii bit, and that's all I was doing. I was just banging on the fence, just doing that, because that to me, Drums of the Island is Hawaii. Yes,
excellent, absolutely superb. And I even like the memorable thing is even that the elevator that they get in that takes you down to the restaurants where they go and sing a song with Scratch My Back and all that sort of stuff. And I'm thinking, that just looks way out there. The only elevators I knew were in the stores in Birmingham City Centre. I thought that, and they didn't look like that.
You've gone to Lewis's to see Santa, haven't you?
Exactly. Yes, that. Yeah. And I thought it was just the first time I saw it. Like I say, I saw it on the big screen. Absolutely loved it, and it still conjures up those sort of initial memories of me seeing it for the first time, even today. So there's my number 4, Paradise Hawaiian Style, and we briefly were a couple of feet away from Susanna Lee at one stage at Hemsby, weren't we? I think she was steered well clear of us. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I think The guy who was leading us towards us at the bar, all of a sudden saw us at the bar. They said, "Well, not them two."
Yeah, there was an evil glance, wasn't there?
There really was.
There was that evil glance. I go to shall
don't-
we? Yeah.
It was don't care, wasn't
I'd forgotten about that. Yes.
it?
Yeah, that was it. Another one of those people we met and paid no attention to. Yeah. I'm not going to buy her book. She never bought mine. Right.
That's all she was doing. Yeah, so there you
So
go.
another one for Paradise.
Mm.
I have a great memory. Is going to one of the Elvis collector events in Leicester with Ian Bailey, and he showed, I can't remember what it was exactly, like a Pathé pick or a Movie Tone News from the Polynesian Cultural Centre where they made it, and he showed this little 10-minute vignette thing, and I remember I was taping it on my cassette on my lap, so I didn't have the video to it for years, but fantastic. Yeah, good call. What do you think of the child actress in it?
Oh, our friend Donna Butterworth. Yeah.
Yes,
I quite like those songs. We've said
they add to it. Now, isn't that probably the most 60s Elvis film there is? It's that template, isn't it? It is the what vehicle we're going to have, cute kid, a billion songs. Yeah, liking it a lot.
Lovely.
So my number 4, I switched where you had the role in number 5 of the Flaming Star and a bit more serious. I've gone up a notch here. So I've gone for number 4 for Change of Habit.
Yeah, I knew. I just had a feeling that was going to come out your mouth next.
Yeah, it had to be. So doing the research again over the last few weeks, I've really taken to this so much more. That it was the What If film. This should have been the opening of had this been big box office, we might have got Dirty Harry. It wasn't. It was just forgotten there, wasn't it?
People had given up on Elvis by that stage.
Yeah, I mean, these are B movies then. These, some of these films were supporting the other film. Yeah. He wasn't the draw, which is shocking. But saying all this, I've just had a thought. Do you remember the Carry On films did like a montage, and they had them in the projection booth going, "Oh, remember when we did this?" and "Oh, remember when we did that." We need the funny bits out of an Elvis movie, all put into an Elvis movie.
Yeah, that's what we do. We need to carry on Elvis, don't we?
Yeah.
We need a compilation, a combination of trailers and just funny clips of Elvis's double takes of Elvis's comedy moments.
Yeah. Funny. Yeah. Now,
or the co-stars doing something silly as they often did, or whatever. So yeah, that I'd buy it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to look at that. That's good.
That's a watching after you come home from the pub job, isn't it?
Absolutely,
yeah.
And that's a good point again, because Change of Habit isn't that. I don't, where a lot of these frothy ones we can sit and watch when you've had a skinful. Yeah. Change of Habit, you're sitting there going, "Oh, like social meaning." So it is great. It's got the worst actress in Mary Tyler Moore's shocking performance, but it's the other two nuns that get me. The sitting in the Quickie Mart it is great. Telling the banker that all debts are cancelled, and you're going, you're pushing your luck there, love, aren't you? All right. And I love all that, and the Huggy Bear characters who come in with their it's just cool. It could have
been so much more, couldn't it?
He just when he walks down the street in front of Amanda whistling, you're just going, how cool is that?
Yeah.
So my number 4, Change of Habit, didn't see it for years. It was, it was just the lost film. Let Us Pray, Rubbernecking. Oh, great songs. It's moved on.
Yeah, and I've got a University of Memphis sweatshirt as well, so it's my connection to a Change of Habit.
But I would say in my grading here, I love all the songs except Have a Happy. Have a Happy rubs me up the wrong way. It really irritates me. Don't know what it is.
There's no rational reasoning behind that.
No, I just don't. It is like an allergy. It's just, it is. I can't listen to this song. Yeah, and I don't know why, but there you go. But so the other tunes are so strong, and here you go rubbernecking. Part of the
Rubbernecking, brilliant.
69 sessions. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So that's my number 4, a
yeah. Very good.
change of habit.
Very good. For my number 3 now, I'm going to go as far away from change of habit as you could possibly get. And we're going to go to that movie, which was shot in just 16 days, Kissing Cousins.
Oh, no, I thought that was going to be higher than that for you.
Ah, right. Yeah, well, it's one of these movies that I managed to see on the big screen. 2 Elvises for the price of 1, of course. Great looking ladies in it as well. Comedy value of Arthur O'Connell, Glenda Farrell, and Elvis's boss. Can't remember his name. All good fun, and just love the music in it. Just absolutely love the music. I don't know why. Yeah. It's nice and fluffy and easy on the ear, easy on the eye, certainly, and just great fun.
When I did my touching up, this came as number 2 for me.
Really?
And yeah. And I thought, well, what is it? It is the memorable bits. It is Hezekiah guarding the still. It is ICBM, UCBM 2.
Yeah.
Still makes me laugh. And so this is my number 2, Kissing Cousins.
Ooh.
And it is so good. And I love it when you said there's 2 of them, because I remember we went to the local radio when we had Annette Day from Double Trouble on. And the presenter who was interviewing us, what was she called? Jenny Wilkes thought it was that because it was double. Started talking about Kissing Cousins.
Yes.
And I had to say, and I'll always remember this, like it's live on the air. And I had to go, look, I'm going to have to stop you here because the switchboard's going to go crazy. I've got to put you right.
She did actually. I remember that now. Actually, yeah.
So Kissing Cousins.
Yeah.
Shot in 16 days.
16 days, it says. Yeah. Elvis's 14th movie, shot in the same. I think he shot 3 films that year, but he generally did every year anyway, didn't he? I've got one of these lovely facts here, lovely bits of trivia here, which I quite like. Is that you know we had the Kitty Hawks, didn't we? All these women wearing different bikini tops to bikini bottoms and mixing it all up and looking amazing. I'm thinking, I have been into the countryside of various parts of America, and I've never seen a race of women like this, all men crazy. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to look a bit closer next time I go. All of those actresses, amongst them was one Maureen Reagan, who was actually the daughter of Ronald Reagan.
What does she play?
She's one of the Kitty Hawks, yeah. And there's actually there's documented evidence. There's actual photograph of it in the book that I've got. And Maureen Reagan, the daughter of Ronald Reagan, of course, President of the United States, and his wife at the time, Jane Wyman.
Oh, all right. I didn't know that one.
There's a little bit of trivia for you.
Was it? Who was one of the dancers? There was another one.
In that movie?
Yeah. Who was that? There's a great bit of trivia, isn't it? That is a really obscure way. Thinking Friends, who was Phoebe's mom when she found her?
It was the one who was in Tootsie, wasn't it?
That's it.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
I'm sure she was one of the dancers.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
And I can't remember her name, and that's just come to me out of nowhere again. I'm sure somebody will put us right on Facebook.
It's going to come to that in any second now. I'm not quite sure. Oh, crikey, what was her name? And she's been in loads of stuff, and every time I see her in something, I'm thinking, what's her name again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, that's great, thanks. Oh, it's Terry Garr, and she appeared in 6 movies with Elvis. That's Kissing Cousins, Fun in Acapulco, Viva Las Vegas, Roustabout, Girl Happy, and Clambake. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So, Kissing Cousins, I love it. I think it's an album that the songs together are quite strong, even though they're quite weak. It is a nice thing. The cheap budget sets and everything, I think is great. when he's dressed in his posh military gear, I always think he's I Dream of Jeannie, Larry Hagman. When he was in, I think should he have played Larry Hagman's part in that at the time? It's just one of them soft things that crops up. I like it, so it's my number 2, so it got more points for me. I love the shocking bits where he's Smoky Mountain Boy and he's driving the Jeep, and you can clearly see it's being pulled along.
Yeah, and that's a great movie number as well, is it? Smoky Mountain Boy. I like that. Elvis looks great. It's at the start of the film almost.
Yeah, and everybody's in and at it.
I always wondered why he wasn't in uniform in that scene. He's the only one not in uniform. I know he was going undercover to see his kinfolk, but
kinfolk. Yeah.
I wonder why he wasn't in like U.S. military uniform at that time. Like every single other one was in that movie. So
probably because he was Elvis.
Well, he could do what he want, yeah.
Yeah, so he was good on that one. My number 3, Blue Hawaii.
Oh, that's my number 2.
All right. So, your Paradise. So you've gone for Hawaii twice, liking it. Yes. Blue Hawaii. Why is Blue Hawaii mine? Well, scored on my point system. My 1 and 2 were equaled, so this was 1 point off. The only way I split the 2 who got equal for 2 and 1 was, well, I'll tell you later. So Blue Hawaii did it for me. Cracking songs, plenty of them.
There was 14 of them, wasn't there? So quite a lot to choose. That's going to bump the score up a bit.
Loads of good tunes that fit in.
Yeah,
we've got memorable to death film because we're there. We're still give your old mama some sugar. Yeah. We are still quoting it. So in the memorable stakes, it's top. I actually give it full marks.
100%.
Best support. Well, yeah. So, what was she called? Angela Lansbury.
Wonderful.
Just the best. The best. Miley looks brilliant.
Joan Blackman looks fantastic in that.
Yeah. So I was
and Charlie Chan as well. Was Elvis's dad, Roland Winters. He played Charlie Chan in 6 of the movies.
Really?
He did, yeah, absolutely. Roland Winters was Charlie Chan, yeah.
Oh, God.
That's a fact. I'm not winding you up here.
I got to say, I don't believe anything. I don't
go and have a look at that, yeah.
I don't believe there was a father role in the film or anything. Who's Elvis?
It seems amazing to me that there are 14 songs in it, but they actually cut 3 more out, didn't they? So.
Well, yeah. And again, these are the.
It's like, how can I have a movie with 17 songs in it? Bloody hell! I was like, oh, and what's is there any dialogue at all in this? Yeah.
Blue Hawaii. I think there's nothing out of the blue. There's nothing really amazing in it. That it's just the sum of all the parts, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, it shows Hawaii off superbly well, doesn't it? It looks like a beautiful place to go.
Yeah.
And this movie and Paradise Hawaii Star really sort of highlighted the tourism of the islands, didn't it?
I think though Paradise is a poor man's Blue Hawaii.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. But...
the storyline and everything. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, the Blue Hawaii is a far superior movie by all. But just saying, it's like to be able to see something as exotic as Hawaii in this, especially us living on this little island here is it's quite something to see, isn't it? It just looks wonderful. It's all nice and colourful.
That's really good.
Elvis looking great, Joan Blackman looking great. The songs. It's got pretty much everything. This has.
It's got a lot. Yeah. So I say for me, it was 1 point. It only lost 1 point against the others.
Now, I'm just going to interrupt proceedings here on Talking Elvis to let you know that every Wednesday on Cam FM, you can listen to Elvis in Cambridge with myself, Ian Gray.
And me, don't forget me. I'm on it too. Me.
Run at 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. USA East Coast time, and 9 a.m. Alaskan time. You can also get us 24 hours a day via the catch-up service on www.camfm.co.uk. But whatever time it is that you're listening, you can guarantee one thing. It's Elvis time.
Talk about the good times with Talking Elvis.
Your number 2 then is...
Your number 3, wasn't it? So
you've got Blue Hawaii there, haven't you?
So your number 3 was Blue Hawaii, yeah?
Yeah.
And my number 2 was Blue Hawaii. So you need your number 2. Is that right?
So throw it in as we've covered that. Have you got a what if?
if we're talking Blue Hawaii and we're talking about 1961, I've got a movie that Elvis could have been in 1961 because he was about the right age.
Yeah.
He was looking good. He was looking sleek. He was, looking wonderful. And that is The Guns of Navarone, right? That was also in 1961. And
Which
James
character?
James Darren was in The Guns of Navarone. He was an Italian American young chap in his mid-20s. I think he was probably, his background wasn't Italian. His background was Greek. That's why they went to the Greek island of Navarone, didn't they?
Yeah.
But he was the one towards the end. If you can't remember, I think he was a born killer, as Gregory Peck told him, and he was at the end. He was the one who staggered towards his German opponents towards the end of the movie, and they were just basically machine gunning each other. He was also dressed in a German war uniform because they'd gone undercover, and
So what? Why Elvis?
he bought it because the looks are absolutely strikingly similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, dark jet black hair, physical build was the same.
It's a bit part, though, isn't it?
And it is a bit part, but the beauty of this. The beauty of this movie, The Guns of Navarone, is that all these great big stars in it all have a little story, and his was a little story that he had a sister on the island of Navarone, and that was and that would have been ideal because Elvis would have been up against Gregory Peck, David Niven, Stanley Baxter, sorry, and all these other great actors,
Yeah, that's good.
So a bit part, but not the starring part. So I think that would have been absolutely, and that's the same year as Blue Hawaii, 1961.
So that's good because that's really puts that's the Colonel's doing, isn't it? If you can't headline it, it doesn't matter about artistic integrity and all that. He's going, I'm the leader or I'm not.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
That's a good call.
Yeah, so it was all about billing, wasn't it? So
because I was looking, what other films could he have been in? Generally, I hadn't specifically gone for 61. But no, that is good.
Have you got anything else?
Idea of that.
Have you got anything else that Elvis could have been in the 60s?
Well, for me, the big that Elvis could have been is he could have been Steve McQueen.
In which role?
Everything.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I think I've got Steve McQueen down as a couple of Elvis possibles.
Yeah, I think
but only a couple.
I think that if Steve McQueen wasn't, I think that Elvis Bullet.
Yes, I've
got him in there with the car.
I've got him down as Bullet because it was 19. What year was Bullet? It was 1968, so it was late 60s. Elvis looking a bit beefier and a bit more slick.
I think for me, in an alternate parallel universe, what if he was at the Cincinnati Kid? All of these, and Margaret's in that as well. Hey, right?
Yeah, I've got him down for Bullet as well. To be honest.
Yeah, I think those are that's the shame that we didn't get. Because we're looking at the back end of the career when. Okay, the big studios didn't want him. Yeah. We got to do the Live a Little Lovers, the Change of Habits, the Charros.
Yeah.
Where we should have gone, like you say. I love the idea of the smaller role in a big film, but that's just never going to be the Colonel's way, was it?
No, and that was Elvis. That was definitely Elvis's loss.
And I'm not taking that away from Steve McQueen because he's great. I'm just saying, if there wasn't a Steve McQueen, that's the roles for me they should have gone with. So we're at nitty gritty time, aren't we?
We are, yeah. I bet you think. Do you think you know what my number one is?
I think I know what you're going to have.
I've got an idea of what you might have, but I'm not 100% sure on it. Now that you've said scientific, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just throw in that I would really like to have seen Elvis in Von Ryan's Express when he misses the train, right?
Yeah, but I've missed the train loads of times, but you don't see me getting shot down after it, do you?
You're not Sinatra, though, are you? Yeah. That just shut up on my list there.
Well, we're talking about Frank Sinatra there, and it's like, he did the Tony Rome movie, didn't he? Like, Lady in Cement and whatnot. Why wasn't Elvis doing stuff like that instead of Kissing Cousins?
Yeah.
for example, you know what I mean, or Girl Happy, or Tickle Me, or why isn't he being a detective?
Oh, what was the other one? The Matt Helm.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Helm. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. Anyway, number
Anyway,
one. How are we going to do this then? Are we going to flip a coin
I think
again?
we have to flip a coin again. Yeah.
So here it is. Are you ready, folks? What are you going to go for?
I got heads.
I've lost it. It went down the back of the desk. Right. I didn't even make the right noise. Okie dokie. So you go first.
I'll go first. All right. Now, I and ahed about this and this other movie. Now, I wasn't going to have the other movie in the top 5 as well. It either had to be number 1 or it was going to be out of the top 5 because I wanted to sort of somewhat throw you off the trail.
You wanted to cheat?
Yeah, well, no. I've gone...
But you have a reputation for lying, so,
I've gone for a 1964 movie, but not the one you're thinking of. It's Roustabout.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Acapulco.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that was close. That was in the top 7, right? Yeah.
See, now Roustabouts, that got good points, but it didn't get me a winner because do you know what? I just think I love all its parts, but I just think it's a bit slow.
It can be. I love the songs in it. Absolutely love the songs in this movie. Elvis looks amazing again. Big nice leather jacket, black leather jacket at the start of the movie when he's on his bike. Not so much enamored with Joan Freeman. She was quite a weak co-star, but you did have Barbara Stanwyck, which is always good. But I thought it was a bit colourful. I love the songs. Little Egypt was probably the highlight in that song as well. Very, very memorable song at the time. And I'm going with that. It was a straight shootout between that and Viva Las Vegas. Yeah,
no, that's the thing.
One had to go,
Yeah,
as much as I like Aunt Margaret and all that, one had to go and thought, right, make a decision, go for it.
I've completely thrown myself because I've got the same. My gut seems to think it should be Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah,
but it's not, right? Because the maths don't lie, right? Because I kept thinking, how memorable it is, and Viva is very memorable.
Yes, it is.
But I don't know, something kept just knocking it a point back. So I was completely shocked that my 1 and 2 ended up with the same amount of points.
Yeah.
And it isn't Viva Las Vegas.
Well, I think I'm gonna think about. I know possibly, but like I say, because you've gone scientific.
Yeah, I have gone for a film there where I'm looking at it. I like the songs. So they're good quality songs, only a handful. That's not a problem. Memorable. There's some cheesy supporting cast that I very much remember. There's a few standalone scenes that I remember. Leading lady, very, very memorable. And I don't know why, but overall, when I just did this, it came up. Tickle Me.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be one of those sort of mid-60s movies because it either had Shelley Fabares in it.
Yeah.
Or
I was surprised that.
Or Jocelyn Lane or one of those middle 60s ones, which I'm not so keen on.
Yeah, now to me, I can't see the difference with a Kissing Cousins and a girl happy.
No.
Yeah. So I was surprised that you wouldn't.
But
like those.
Weren't the songs from Tickle Me album songs that they just chucked in? Which makes it stronger, doesn't it?
It is, because they really are top-notch songs.
Yeah. Not
just I'm going to ride a motorbike. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the songs that save that movie because it's pretty terrible, isn't it?
It's pretty terrible, but it's a little bit Scooby-Doo.
Good fun, terrible though.
It's Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it is.
It's Jocelyn Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say that Viva lost it because I don't know. Viva's just too big. I don't know what it is.
Viva Las Vegas got a bit emotional as well. So there's no emotion going into Tickle Me, is there? It's just a romp through an hour and 25
Yeah.
minutes, isn't it?
And I'm glad that my science came up with, Elvis was for the cheesy 60s movie.
Yeah.
Is what he will always be remembered for. People
Indeed.
won't go Charo,
No.
and it should be. It really should be.
Critically,
But,
yes, of course it should. Yeah.
What Tickle Me is like, again, it's almost the parody of his other films.
Yeah.
So I really liked that came up tops.
You shouldn't have a problem with that either, because it's like I say, it's fun. The songs in it are extremely good because they weren't designed for any type of movie. You had Slowly But Surely was in there.
Dirty Feeling.
And Long Lonely Highway were in there.
Oh, yeah.
All quality songs which were extras on some of the other movie albums, weren't they?
Yeah. So proper studio stuff.
Yeah.
Not done in 5 minutes. So that would be my top. Tickle Me.
That's
but
all
for
right,
a while, Kissing Cousins was going to be number one. But then I did change.
Didn't you have an extra category? So have I seen a prop of clothing from this movie, and you could have put the wig down as a deciding factor?
Yeah. I thought you might have had a category that says, "Do I own a jacket that looks similar?"
And do I really think I look anything like Elvis when I'm wearing it?
Yeah, that's such a shame. So I think we've covered some nice little bits there of why it
good
was.
stuff there, isn't there?
What he did or didn't do in the 60s, though, is really interesting because you think, well, we went down the should it have been a Guns and have our own. I also have a theory in the cheesy world of Elvis films. Disney never got him. Why wasn't he in The Love Bug?
Absolutely. I was just about to say a Herbie film. Yeah, absolutely.
The Gene Jones.
That's
because
right.
They would have been Elvis.
That would have been absolutely ideal.
They would be huge. And then my thoughts went, well, what about animation? Why didn't he ever voice a character in one of, in Jungle Book or something? Can you imagine with Shere Khan or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about sort of voiceovers, and a lot of stars do that for these modern day Disney movies, don't they?
Yeah.
And have you seen Up?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Now Ed Asner does the voiceover for that, and Ed Asner was 80 when he did that. Elvis would have been 74 when that movie came out, and I think that would have been a perfect movie for him to voice over as well. And then he could have retired after that. There's an interesting one because Elvis, as a 74-year-old, he would have sounded a little different, still a little bit southern.
So the Elvis, had he lived till a ripe old age, and his acting career kicked in again. So sort of the older roles would be good. I like this.
Indeed, yeah. So that was good. So that I think I've put that down as his retirement film in 2009. Disney's Up, because you mentioned Disney there. That's the only reason I've chucked that in. So
now the other thing that I really think they missed out of with the movies was the 70s, because we've just done the 60s. The 70s.
Oh, yeah, I've got a couple of 70s movies down
For
here as
me, what's your thoughts on this? The 70s disaster movies. Earthquake, Terror Inferno, the airport movies, Poseidon Adventure. And maybe that, the bit part, again, is he Dean Martin? Is he the pilot? Is he... is he just the couple that are going to split up? Is he, or would he have been Paul Newman? Or would he have...
in the Towering Inferno?
Yeah.
So I've got him down as a possible for a couple of Paul Newman roles as well, because they sounded a bit southern.
Yeah,
and I think Paul Newman's got that magnificent ability to sort of look away from the camera rather than at the camera. Yeah. And I think Elvis had that sort of ability as well in some roles as well. I think he was good at acting against other people.
That's really good.
We had Charo, didn't we, in 1969? Do you know the other great Western movie to come out in 1969? Was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I've got that on my list. Which would you have gone for?
The Sundance Kid.
Really?
Playing, yes, I would have him playing opposite Paul Newman. I would have had him playing the Robert Redford role.
Because I was torn on that, because I really thought he would be Paul Newman for a while.
He could have done that.
I kept topping and tailing. Now that would have been a good move.
See, he
Butch
could have
and
done.
Sundance.
He could have done Paul Newman, the Butch Cassidy role.
Yeah.
I had him down as the crack shot, slightly sort of silent, wasn't he? Robert Redford. He was a silent type, and only spoke when he was spoken to, and just came out with a sarcastic throwaway line every now and then. It's like when Butch is riding around with his girlfriend doing raindrops keep falling on your head. So he goes, I've come to steal your woman, and Robert Redford just turns around, I'll take her, and walks back into the shack. I can imagine Elvis being that, So he was a bit moody, wasn't he, Robert Redford, in that movie?
Yeah.
So and again, opposite the legend that is Paul Newman as well. I think that would have been. That's one of my fantasies anyway.
I like this. I think we should run with this a bit longer. What's your thoughts on MASH, the movie?
I've got him down as playing Trapper, Elliot Gould's role.
Yeah, it's definitely the Elliot Gould. Yeah,
it's
I've
a real
got that
gritty.
one.
It's a gritty role, isn't it? It's full of fantastic dialogue. And Elvis playing something serious, but with the throwaway jokes and lines and the tomfoolery that they used to get up with. But I've got him down as Elliot Gould as Trapper John. Yeah.
I mean, tell you what, though, in what he could have done, Burt Reynolds in Deliverance.
I've got him down as one or two Burt Reynolds roles. Yeah. It's funny because Burt Reynolds. They looked similar, didn't they? There was a bit thick set, especially in the '60s and the end of the '60s and the early '70s. A little bit thick set, but fit. Yeah. But and with the attitude to go with it.
I think so. Oh yeah. So the movies that could have been, there's plenty of, and then moving into the big time again. You just imagine Jaws, Roy Schneider, Brody.
Really? Yeah, possibly. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I just
at the right age.
Yeah, I like that. I just think that. So the what ifs, plenty of. So we got
loads of those, and I've got a whole pile of those I want to give to you, but we're going to do that another time.
On a final note, could you imagine him round the campfire in Blazing Saddles? And on that note,
I think we better leave it there, and I think I'm going to get some beans for my tea.
Yeah, you'll need a badge. Elvis movies in the 60s.
Hey, good fun.
Wish he'd done more in the 70s. And even though, he died 77, all that touring in 74, 75, just one movie a year would have done it, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. One movie a year just to keep him away from the touring, and the balance then between time off, touring, and shooting a proper movie, which would have taken him, 2 or 3 months out of his year, rather than 16 days as we saw with Kissing Cousins. But without being rushed, and having a bit of meat to put into these acting performances, and maturing as an actor. Surrounded himself with better actors.
That would have been that you would have soaked up the
better directors and all this sort of stuff, and a few more independent movies where he wasn't going to be the top build star, the most best paid actor in the movie, all this type of thing. Just take a drop in salary, take the second billing to Barbara Streisand in Funny Girl, all this type of thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Go down a notch rather than look at me. It is my model. It is my movie.
Yeah.
And that's where the failure was with Elvis's movie career, wasn't it?
Oh, great. Oh, I think that's very interesting.
We got loads more to say on the movies, haven't we?
We have. This is the trouble because we love movies. We can witter on about them forever. Are we? So number one, my number one was Tickle Me. Your number one was
Roustabout.
Do you think we should go off and watch those? And we ought to do a show about those two films.
Yeah, let's do it critically.
Yeah, we'll do a proper one, and let's see how it goes. Because I think that was fascinating. I love the idea of that much more than I thought was going to come out of it. We like to argue and disagree for the sake of it, which is great.
Absolutely. It's only what we do in the pub anyway, so we might as well. Like I say, we might as well record it.
Well, that's it. I do not have a beer here, and nobody brought me a cup of coffee down. 60s, great movies, could have been better. 100%. Tick VG, 4 out of 5.
Splendid.
Hi, guys. What's on the show next week?
Well, there she is again. She pops in every now and again asking us a question. Gracie.
Yeah, Robin
Yes.
Gracie.
So the lady that introduces that little section there was Ms. Land, which is Grace Land, who we know and love. She's asked us what we're doing on the show next week. I can't remember. You're going to have to remind me.
We have chosen our top 5. We've got another top 5 for you folks. It is our top 5 movie songs and not including Elvis That's the Way It Is or Elvis on Tour. So it's all the scripted movies, 50s and 60s, and we've gone for a top 5.
It's going to be good. I think this will be one to listen for.
Have we really thought about the amount of songs that we've got to get through for this? Well, I don't think we've really thought about it, have we?
Yeah, but there is a handful we can eliminate straight away.
Where is Old MacDonald going to appear on the list, folks?
Yeah.
You've got to tune in next time to find.
I think it'll be higher than Have a Happy, but oh god, no.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. All good for another week.
Splendid. Thank you very much. It's been a ball. Enjoyed that one. So moving on to the next.
See you soon.
Find us at www.talkingelvis.co.uk or Facebook or YouTube or Spotify. In fact, any place you get your podcasts.